You may have figured this out from the title, but today's video is about the worst date I ever went on. So to set the scene, it's summer 2014. I've just moved to Toronto, and you know what? I'm single. May as well start looking. Now this was the golden age of Tinder. Everyone's using it, but it's not got all the super like stuff going on. It's like pretty simple. It's just swipe left, swipe right. So I started talking to a few guys. A lot of them I dropped off along the way. And a couple of them I decided to give them my number and start texting. Now one of these guys I will leave nameless, but we decided to meet up one day. So he offered to come downtown to closer to where I live, and he lived up North Toronto, so I was like, yes. And I suggested a Second Cup to meet at, which is a Canadian coffee chain. I specifically said which Second Cup it was. A couple days later, the date day arrives. I'm a very short walk from the Second Cup, so I just tell him, text me when you get off the subway and I'll come meet you at the Second Cup. And also I decided not to eat breakfast that morning because we're meeting like fairly early in the day. I will, get some food at the Second Cup when we get there. After waiting for a while, and it's already later than we agreed to meet, but you know what, I'm a late person, I'm gonna let this go, I get it. He texts me and says, hey, I'm at the subway station, be there soon. So I leave my apartment, go down the elevator, walk up the street to the Second Cup, and I walk in and do not see this guy there. Okay. It's like a fairly big Second Cup. I'll go check the back section, walk to the back. Not there. Okay. I sit down and decide not to order a drink because you may as well wait for your date to get there to order your drink. Don't want to be rude. Wait about 10-15 minutes and still nothing. Okay, send him a text. Hey, I thought you said you were almost here. He says, yeah, I'm at Second Cup. I'm like, okay, why didn't you tell me you were here? Look around. Not there. So I'm like, are you sure you're at the right Second Cup? Keeping in mind that I was very specific about which one we were meeting at, and the next closest one is much further, so I don't know how you could make that mistake exactly. He's like, oh, okay, well my phone's dying, but I'll come to the other one. I'm like, okay. Another 10-15 minutes go by, and finally he gets there. Comes, finds me in the back, sits down next to me. I'm like, okay, I guess we're not getting drinks then. I need to preface this with saying that I'm super indecisive. So if I am going to be with someone, they need to be pretty good at making decisions for me. I can make a decision if it pertains to just me, but once it starts affecting another person, I cannot make a choice. It's not a great quality, but it's just how I am. So I need someone who will either force me to make a decision or will make a decision for me. I'm getting pretty hungry at this point, so we're sitting there for a while and he's like, do you want to go somewhere? I'm like, yes! Hoping he'll suggest we go out for food or something. We leave without buying anything to drink or eat, and then proceed to spend 3 hours walking up and down and up and down this super long road. The whole time I'm getting hungrier and hungrier and trying to think of how to get out of the situation because I, as I said, lived near this area, so I didn't want him to think I was inviting him back to my place, but I really wanted to go home. This entire time we're walking up and down, he's talking about himself, and he's telling me how his extra money on the weekends is his newspaper route on a bicycle, and then also on the side will make stops at his friends' places to sell them small amounts of weed. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot of information for a first date. Eventually, it's around the time he has to meet his friends, and I'm like, well, bye! And walk home and eat food, and it was great. So that was the worst date I've ever had, and obviously never talk to him again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week with another video.